are listening to Her Wintrust, one of my favorite segments. I just want to remind you that Stacy Gates from the CTU and Mayor Lightfoot are going to be on the afternoon show today. But I have a dynamic woman in the studio with me today. Her name is Renee. She is a native born on the west side of Chicago. She has a bachelor's degree in technical management and 2 master's degrees in business administration and project management. Her work experience includes acting as a financial analyst with Dearborn Financial, manager at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and project manager for the Transformation Technology Department of TransUnion LLC. In addition to her experience in corporate America, she is a seasoned entrepreneur, having launched a transportation company with more than $250,000 in revenue. And not only that, we are going to be talking about this, secrets of a millionaire next door. Now, the reason why we're doing this is that the one thing millionaires do, you're not going to see how they make their million. They just go ahead and do it. Renee, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm
You
great.
are so lovely. We're on Facebook Live. I'm so glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you too.
You know, I was looking in your information. You've got a company called In4ormative Services, Inc., right?
Yes.
And you said one of the major challenges is combating misinformation and reversing bad financial habits passed down from generation to generation. Did your family have bad financial habits?
I wouldn't say bad financial habits, but I think they weren't being implemented in the best way, meaning that having the best impact. So we all save. So my grandmother told me to save, my mother told me to save. That's fine, but the thing is, when some people are saving, it's still not enough.
Right.
So the thing is, you have to find out, okay, if I'm saving and it's not enough, what other tools are available? So the thing that I was given, that's fine, but we have to go a step further. So went through the traditional education system, it gives you that traditional education. When you go and you get a job, you do exactly what you're trained to do.
Right.
But in order to have more wealth, you have to do something different.
Right.
And that wasn't taught in school.
Right.
So therefore, I had to figure it out.
So you've got all this education, and kudos to you for wanting to stay in school that long. But the thing is this, what did you got all the formal training.
Yeah, all formal.
You took the economics classes
all that.
and, the financial
All
class,
that.
all of that. What was the one thing, when was your aha moment when you said, oh man, I get it? About what was the most, out of all that, once you got past that formal training,
Okay.
what surprised you most about how people were making money?
2008 financial crisis, when a lot of people lost their retirement. The reason why that was my aha moment, because most people did exactly what was expected of them to do. In order for you to retire, you invest in your 401k.
Right.
You do all of these things, pension plans. But guess what? They did everything that was told to them, and that money evaporated in the system. So now those same people that were supposed to retire during that time have not retired, and you have 3 generations now working. So it was something, I'm like, they did exactly what was told of them. Something happened, something went wrong. And so I basically found out that general information that's given to the masses, that's basically, it's insufficient. And also, there were a lot of companies that were presidents and CEOs at that time, new information that wasn't privy to the masses.
And was that diversifying what you invest in?
Well, okay. You have silver right there. I just showed you a piece of silver. You have it in your hand, right?
Right.
It's yours.
Right.
It's yours.
Right.
You know it's yours.
Right.
Can't nobody take it from you.
Not this.
So your 401ks, those type of plans, once you give your money to an institution, even with a checking, a savings account, once you hand that money over to them, it's theirs. you have lost a lot of rights. You're an unsecured creditor, even down to your 401ks and all of those
You
things.
just scared the hell out of me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But go ahead.
So
go ahead.
once you hand over those funds,
Mhm.
they're basically managing those funds, and you just basically giving up rights.
Right.
So you're not the legal registered owner of that product anymore. Think about a car. When you pay off a car, they give you the title.
Right.
That's your title, that's your car.
Right.
But once you hand over those funds and you have another financial institution manage those funds,
Right.
you have given up a certain part of your right, so therefore they can invest your money the way they feel, and if they lose it, you're the one who's holding an empty bag. And that's what happened.
In 2008.
In 2008. So that was my aha moment, that everybody, they did what was told for them to do to secure their financial future. They did exactly that.
Were you caught up in that?
No, ma'am. Because the reason why good information is a primary source to any wealth. You have to know where to go find the information at. If you remember in 2008, the bank said, we didn't know this was going to happen. We had no clue.
That's not true. They kind of, were the architects.
Exactly. But what did they say? So certain information is given to the masses.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to know where to go find the good information so you can be able to protect your dollars.
How did you protect you?
Well, basically, I took my money out the system. I knew this was coming. So therefore, I took myself out of those positions. I liquidated.
And what did you do with it?
And then I put my money in a bank account. I put it in a bank account. So I took my
So you took your 401s or your
I took
IRAs?
my investments. I took my investments. I liquidated them. I put them in my traditional checking account.
What did you know? What did you know that the rest of the people didn't know in 2008?
I knew they were telling people that everything's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I knew it wasn't fine. I knew a year or two before it wasn't
Thank God
fine.
you had that education.
Yeah, and that wasn't from the traditional education system. That was on the job, and
You were managing.
I was in the clearing department. $1 quadrillion went through my department.
Mm-hmm.
So basically,
$1 quadrillion.
$1 quadrillion.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
That is such a thing. $1 quadrillion. So therefore, when you're sitting in that seat, you're not just. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
You're not just close to the fire. You're in the fire.
Wow.
So you see a lot of things that are occurring that the general population are missing. It's a lot of manufactured distractions that are happening. So you have one person, look at this, but I'm really doing this.
Right.
So you have to know where to go. You have to go get the good information.
Where are the resources?
Okay, the SEC, you can go to the SEC website. People don't understand that
I'm doing that today.
Okay, go do that today. The SEC website, if you go there, it tells you exactly regulations and things of that nature. So, did you know that they can halt trading when things aren't looking too well?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Do you know they have something called a plunge protection team?
I heard about
So
that.
you have all that. You know they have corporate buybacks.
Yes.
So you know all of these things, but you need to also know, what does this truly mean? And so if they're buying back their positions, why are they doing that? When are they doing it?
Yeah.
So knowing where to go.
So you look at everything with a jaundiced eye.
I look at everything. And also there's something called the G20 Bail-in Act.
I just heard about that with the G7.
Okay, are you ready? Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, this was instituted, they call it tools. When you work, a tool.
Right.
So, there was a bailout.
Right.
So, basically the banks were bailed out. So now they have something called a bail-in. What is a bail-in? A bail-in is basically funds that you and I will put into a bank account or a 401k. We're called unsecured creditors. So basically, the next time we have this financial collapse, that there will not
and
be
it's coming.
Yeah, oh no, it's coming, and it's not going to be a bail-in; it's going to be a bailout. So the regular citizens who are unsecured creditors, the FDIC has another job, is to manage those monies that are being taken from our accounts to save this supposedly collapse or to mitigate that impact. Yeah, that's what the G20 bail-in is.
Okay.
Taking your money,
Right.
my money,
Right.
and you can't get to it until they tell you to, and then whatever is left there, that's what you left with.
See that, and I'm so glad you said this, because I started a financial plan. It's a stock portfolio.
Okay.
And then, but I was reticent. So I had 2 bank accounts, money market accounts, where where the money is, right? Because I plan on staying in the stock thing for the long run. So if there is some kind of meltdown or something, I'm not depending on that, and it's gonna go back up again at some point, right?
Hopefully, because we're transitioning from the old system to a new system. We're going from that traditional stock market to the new digital stock market. Did you know there's a new digital market called BAC, who the New York Stock Exchange owns?
No, I did not know.
And they launched like 2 or 3 Mondays ago. It's a new digital
BAT?
BAKKT. The Intercontinental Exchange owns them, along with Intercontinental Exchange owns the New York Stock Exchange.
Right.
And then also Starbucks is a part of this too.
Okay.
So this is the new digital exchange that basically the SEC will be they'll be regulated by them. So people want to feel safe.
Right.
So therefore, if you want to feel safe, okay, this is supposed to be the safe exchange that a lot of institutions have already have money in. It's already done.
So if you have a financial advisor, do you talk to them about BACT, or they're going to say, you don't want to do that?
A lot of them would say you don't want to do that. And a lot of times, even with digital assets such as a Bitcoin, they couldn't talk about it. And a lot of them didn't know anything about it.
Right.
And let's go back. What is a financial advisor? To advise.
Right.
So therefore, if I cannot examine that information,
And make sense of it myself.
Make sense of it. So how can I tell my financial advisor yay or nay? Impossible. It's impossible. I need to be able to have some type of foundation in order to understand what my financial advisor is telling me. And if that advisor cannot break down this information to the point in which I can understand it, I have a problem.
Susan, I'm calling you later on today. I am calling them later on today.
And I'm not saying financial advisors are
Right,
bad. What
no,
I'm saying
it's
is
just
we
not
need
safe.
to understand, and it's not that complex.
Right,
it's
right.
not that complex. The thing is, the bond market is horrible. We have something called repo, which the Federal Reserve have been infusing billions of dollars into, because that overnight lending, these banks don't have what they say they have. They don't. So we are exposed on a global level, not just the United States.
Yes.
We're interconnected.
That's right.
So the thing is, it's going to be a domino effect, and it wasn't fixed in 2008.
No.
So if something is not fixed, it gets exacerbated and it multiplies.
So this digital, BACT. Okay, what is it? A digital what?
Digital exchange, where
Digital exchange.
where institutions have went to get the Bitcoin, and to be able to have those Bitcoins to be able to put in your mutual funds and things of that nature.
Wow.
It's already been done.
Right. So what? Should I diversify?
No, definitely.
I mean, should I look at BACT?
Well, you should definitely look at BACT, because they're going to be a huge player in the game. You definitely should look at BACT. You should understand what this exchange does. Who are they? Who are they? Definitely, you should.
Okay.
You should.
So this is what I've taken away from you so far. Check the SEC website
Yes.
on a regular. On a regular. Look into what this BAKKT BACT is.
Exactly.
And this is a digital exchange.
Yes.
It's the next huge thing.
Yes.
This is where, are you dealing with crypto money? That's it. Is it just crypto money?
Well, it's money that are coming in as a USD, but then that USD is being exchanged for that digital asset.
So you can do that.
Yes.
So you can put $5,000 into.
So
an
the
account.
institutions are using this back right
Okay,
now.
they're using.
But there is another exchange called Coinbase, which is a big one, which you and I, retailers can go in and partake in. You can put $5, $10, $20.
Right.
I tell people you can start small, and then when you look back, you be like, oh my God, look what ground I have.
See,
covered.
and this is interesting, because when the Bitcoin, everybody was talking about it, I know people that got in on it early.
Yes.
And made a fortune.
Yes.
The one guy said, my kid's college education is paid
I can believe
for.
that, yes.
He says it's paid for.
Yes.
So the other thing is I just makes sense to what you're saying is because we live in a digital society.
Yes, we are. Have you looked at your Cash App? Anybody look?
I don't.
Bitcoin is there.
On the Cash App?
Yes, it's there. It's in the gas station.
And yes, I saw the Bitcoin machine.
They are placed. These infrastructures are here, so when they're ready to execute, you will be able to have these tools to go execute. It's not here by chance or by coincidence. And the thing about it is, we're already digital. Think about Zelle, PayPal, all of those things. You're using your phone to make these transactions. That's what we're doing. If I'm going to Zelle you, tell me your phone number, your email address, and then boom, you have it. That's digital currency. You don't have paper money. That's digital. All of that is digital.
Oh my God, I've had the best education today in finances I've ever had in my life because I've been, I'm old school. I've been very reticent about, dealing with Zelle and Cash Apps and all that. I'm like, I'll end up sending somebody $5,000 and I meant to send them $500. So, but I'm just gonna jump right in here into the 21st century.
Yes.
And I just want to thank you so much for what you've done. Do you host any kind of seminars or anything?
Yeah, so we just had our first annual 2019 Global Wealth Summit at the Renaissance.
And this is where this comes from?
Yeah, that's where that came from.
Did you see my silver coin?
9.999.
I love that.
Yes,
I love that too.
I go around the world and I interview. I get this information. It's good information because remember, good information is a primary source to any wealth. And so I know where to go. I've been in these different careers, so I know where to go. And so I go and do interviews, and I get to bring this information back, and then people can go to my website, become a member, and everything I know, they will know it soon.
How much is the membership?
It's $19 a month.
Okay,
I
that's
just wanted to
fine.
make sure it was very much so convenient for everyone.
All right, give the information.
It's
real quick.
informative. In4.
I got this.
ORMATIVESERV.com. So basically informative, not with an F, but with a
4.
4.
Right. I love that.
Informativeserve.com.
You are awesome.
You are too.
Would you please come back?
Yes, I will.
I would love to have you. You have just been really just a breath of fresh air, and I'm so proud of you. And can I get into your jewelry box with all the emeralds and diamonds?
Oh, this is wealth. Wealth, I'm telling you, get your precious,
Your
emeralds
precious
and
those emeralds are
rubies.
beautiful.
Thank you, Albert. Thank you. And one other tip, our paper dollars, we need to make sure that we're turning that fiat, that paper currency, into wealth.
Right.
It's turning into something tangible, silver, gold, or some type of land. So that's what people of wealth do. They take that paper currency and turn that into true wealth.
I love that.
Because that's true wealth.
Well, Secrets of a Millionaire Next Door. Thank you so much. Thank you, Annette, for going this week. Thank you, Faith Haygood. Titus, I didn't say thank you. You're already saying it. Titus Williams, thank you very much. Sydney, guys, have a great weekend. I hope that you enjoyed her Wintrust as much as I did. And don't forget, the CTU Vice President Stacey Gates and Mayor Lightfoot are going to be on the afternoon show. Live your best life, because I know that this woman is. Live your best life and be safe this weekend. See you Monday.
Bye.